Shri Gurupya Namaha. This is Lakshmi from Ponvidyashram. Welcome again. Today I am going to continue the role of government in health in Civics Chapter 2. In previous part of the video, we learnt about what is health, healthcare in India and public health services. Now we are going to see about private health facilities. Many private hospitals have come up in the country. You can see clinic at nearly every nook and corner of the markets in the cities and towns with huge posters claiming treatment facilities. Private healthcare facilities are offered by individuals and institutions which are based on the profit motives. It exists mainly in urban areas. In rural areas, there are registered medical practitioners RMPs, whereas in urban areas, a large number of doctors are there to provide medical treatment. Here, it is worth mentioning that private health services are not owned or controlled by the government. Instead, they are privately owned either by an individual or by a company. Apart from private clinics run by doctors, there are hospitals and nursing homes which provide all types of medical services to the ones in need. Most of the doctors are well qualified and try to give their best to the patients. The private hospitals and nursing homes are well equipped with the latest technologies and treatment procedures. Hence, patients are sure to get best medical treatment. There are many laboratories that do tests. They also have facilities like X-ray, ultrasounds, etc. As I said, the private health facilities are not owned or controlled by the government, unlike the public health services. In private facilities, patients have to pay a lot of money for every service that they use. Next, move on to healthcare and equality. Is adequate healthcare available to all? Let us see. India has 1,37,000 subcenters, 28,000 dispensaries, 23,000 PHCs, and about 12,000 secondary and tertiary hospitals. The whole administrative setup may appear large, but most of the healthcare facilities are understaffed, and understaffing is most prominent in the rural healthcare section. 20% of Indian population do not have access to healthcare due to reasons of unavailability or due to economic reasons. Expansion of healthcare in India has been mostly urban oriented when major part of the population lives in the rural or in semi-urban locations. In India, we face a situation where private services are increasing but public services are not. Many people cannot afford them or have to borrow money when there is an illness in the family. Those who are poor are in the first place undernourished. These families are not eating as much as they should. They are not provided basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, clean surroundings, etc., and therefore are more likely to fall ill. The expenses on illness make their situation even worse. Sometimes it is not merely the lack of money that prevents people from getting proper medical treatment. Women, for example, are not taken to the doctor in the prompt manner. Women's health concerns are considered to be less important than the health of men in the family. Many tribal areas have few health centers and they do not run properly. Even private health services are not available. A pregnant woman has to travel many kilometers to see a qualified doctor. What can be done for this? It is the responsibility of the government to provide quality healthcare services to all its citizens, especially the poor and the disadvantaged. The government has agencies like the municipalities which are responsible to ensure that the conditions for healthy living are maintained. They are responsible to ensure provisions of safe, filtered or treated water by taps or tankers, maintain cleanliness of areas by employing people specially for this purpose, ensuring drainage and sewage system so that the living environment remains healthy. Large amount of money is spent in providing municipality facilities to the public so that they can live and work in a healthy environment. But it is not services alone. There is a need for educating people on correct disposal of waste, not to dirty their surroundings as it causes diseases to spread. Many non-governmental organizations have also taken upon themselves to go to the areas and spread education and awareness among the people to keep their surroundings clean and maintain good food and hygiene. However, health is as much dependent on basic amenities and social conditions of the people as it is on healthcare services. Hence, it is important to work on both in order to improve the health situation of our people. Now, let us take example as Kerala and Costa Rica about the healthcare. The Kerala government brought some significant changes in the year 1996. It gave 40% of the entire state budget to the panchayats so that they may fulfill the requirements of the villages. The health of the villagers was also a major factor which was kept in mind. The panchayats acted with care and interest and brought improvement in several fields. Water supply schemes were checked and the working of schools and Anganwadis was ensured. Not only this, healthcare facilities were also improved to a great extent. All these steps successfully uplifted the status of the village in many ways. Despite these improvements, one can feel the shortage of medicines in the villages. There are many hospitals which don't have sufficient number of beds and doctors. Now move on to Costa Rica. It is a country in South America. It is known as one of the healthiest countries there. The credit for this goes to the Costa Rican Constitution. Many years ago, Costa Rica ceased to have an army, which was an important decision as huge amount of money was being spent on the maintenance of the army. After the decision, this money was spent on the health, education and other basic needs of the people. The Costa Ricans began to avail the facilities of safe drinking water, sanitation, nutrition and housing. They were made aware of several factors associated with good health. They were imparted health education too. Thus, the health of the Costa Rican was given much importance, which brought tremendous improvement in the overall health condition of the country. According to our constitutions, an important says is that the duty of the state to raise the level of nutrition and the standard of living and to improve public health. So, health is wealth. Take care of your health. Now, I am going to read from the textbook. Page number 25 in Social and Political Life 2. Private health facilities. There is a wide range of private health facilities that exist in our country. A large number of doctors run their own private clinics. In the rural areas, one finds registered medical practitioners, that is RMPs. Urban areas have a large number of doctors, many of them providing specialized services. There are hospitals and nursing homes that are privately owned. There are many laboratories that do tests and offer special facilities such as X-ray, ultrasound, etc. There are also shops from where we buy medicines. As the name suggests, private health facilities are not owned or controlled by the government. Unlike the public health services, in private facilities, patients have to pay a lot of money for every service that they use. Today, the presence of private facilities can be seen all around. In fact, now there are large companies that run hospitals and some are engaged in manufacturing and selling medicines. Medical shops are found in every corner of the country. Healthcare and equality. Is adequate healthcare available to all? In India, we face a situation where private services are increasing but public services are not. What is then available to people are mainly private services. These are concentrated in urban areas. The cost of these services is rather high. Medicines are expensive. Many people cannot afford them or have to borrow money when there is an illness in the family. Some private services encourage incorrect practices to earn more. At times, inexpensive alternatives, though available, may not be used. For example, some medical practitioners are found to prescribe superfluous medicines, injections, and saline when simple medication may suffice. In fact, barely 20% of the population can afford all the medicines that they require during an illness. Hence, even for those whom one might not think as being poor, medical expenses cause hardship. It was reported in a study that 40% of people who are admitted to a hospital for some illness or injury have to borrow money or sell some of their possessions to pay for their expenses. For those who are poor, every illness in the family is a cause of great anxiety and distress. What is worse is that the situation tends to happen again and again. Those who are poor are in the first place undernourished. These families are not eating as much as they should. They are not provided basic necessities like drinking water, adequate housing, clean surroundings, etc., and therefore are more likely to fall ill. The expenses on illness make their situations even worse. Sometimes it is not only the lack of money that prevents people from getting proper medical treatment. Women, for example, are not taken to the doctor in a prompt manner. Women's health concerns are considered to be less important than the health of men in the family. Many tribal areas have few health centers and they do not run properly. Even private health services are not available. What can be done? There is little doubt that the health situation of most of people in our country is not good. It is the responsibility of the government to provide quality healthcare services to all its citizens, especially the poor and the disadvantaged. However, health is an much dependent on basic amenities and social condition of the people, as it is on healthcare services. Hence, it is important to work on both in order to improve the health situation of our people. And this can be done. Look at the following example. The Kerala experience. In 1996, the Kerala government made some major changes in the state. 40% of the entire state budget was given to panchayats. They could plan and provide for their requirements. This made it possible for a village to make sure that proper planning was done for water, food, women's development, and education. This meant that water supply schemes were checked, the working of schools and Anganwadis was ensured and specific problems of the village were taken up. Health centers were also improved. All of this helped to improve the situation. Despite these efforts, however, some problems such as shortage of medicines, insufficient hospital beds, not enough doctors remained, and these needed to be addressed. Let us look at an example of another country and its approach to issue of health. The Costa Rican approach. Costa Rica is considered to be one of the healthiest countries in South America. The main reason for this can be found in the Costa Rican constitutions. Several years ago, Costa Rica took a very important decision and decided not to have an army. This helped the Costa Rican government to spend the money that the army would have used on health, education, and other basic needs of the people. The Costa Rican government believes that the country has to be healthy for its development and pays a lot of attention to the health of its people. The Costa Rican government provides basic services and amenities to all Costa Ricans. For example, it provides safe drinking water, sanitation, nutrition, and housing. Health education is also considered very important, and knowledge about health is an essential part of education at all levels. I completed the chapter. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings. So be healthy, have a joyful life, children. Thank you.